Hey you guys, Matt Allen, Tim Little, welcome back to Tactical Bassin and welcome back to our Fall Buyer's Guide series. Today we are talking all things hard baits.
We are super excited to be giving you guys this video today on Black Friday. So happy Black Friday, happy shopping, deal shopping. But today we're talking all about hard baits and how we got to this video, how we broke it down, because we all know there's thousands upon thousands of baits that we could talk about or put in this video. We literally jumped on Tackle Warehouse and broke down the categories, and we picked two of our favorite baits in each we picked baits in each category, and then if applicable, we found a budget bait to link to talk about as well that we have a ton of confidence in. So you want to kick it off?
Yep, so just opening up on TW that hard bait list, Topwater. Let's start with walking baits, all right? Couple of baits for you, and of course, we're going to link all of these in the video description below this video. You can go in there, click those links. They'll take you straight to each item on Tackle Warehouse. We will give you our favorite size and our favorite colors for every single one of those baits. In the Topwater category, we've got two walking baits. The first one from Megabass is the Giant Dog X. It is a subtle, natural walking bait. On the days where the water's slick calm and you don't want to make too much ruckus, too much commotion, that is your bait. The Giant Dog X is an incredible topwater bait and one of, if not my favorite, walking bait. The other from Evergreen, we've got the Shower Blows, specifically the 105. Again, we'll give you our favorite colors, but this bait is a long casting, hard walking, hard cutting bait that is great for drawing fish and pulling them across distance. And then, as promised, wherever applicable, we're going to give you a budget option as well. And that Headin' Super Spook, the bait we both grew up on, and in fact we grew up in the West, so the color Okie Shad, that's the one right there. Fantastic budget option to this day. Whether you want the best on the market or a great option that is more affordable, there they are.
All right, next up, staying with topwater, we're going to talk about poppers. Our number one popper, this guy right here, that is the Megabass Pop Max. Now, what do you get with a Japanese company with like Megabass? You get a very, very tuned bait. The fit and finish is amazing. The colors are amazing. This Pop Max has some holes in the cheeks, so when you're walking this thing, whether you're bloop bloop or you're bloop 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 walking it like you would that spook, it leaves a little bit of a bubble trail. Great, super sharp hooks on there. That is an awesome, awesome popper. No, I like to go with a popper early mornings, late evenings, more of that subtle, kind of like that Giant Dog X, more of that subtle time, unless it's a shad spawn. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second.
A little spoiler alert, when we give you our favorite colors, if you ask Tim for his 5 favorite colors in a Pop Max, all 5 of them are matte shad. Just FYI.
Is there any other color?
No, that's the only one.
Next up, we have the Rico by Labino Lures. This is a smaller popper. It's a popper with some rattle in it, and a lot like the spook, this is one of the first poppers I ever threw. Again, you can bloop bloop and get really that water moving forward and that bubble and that real true blooping sound. I can't even describe it, but you know it if you've heard it. You know what it is. Bloop, that guy right there is awesome. And as promised, we talked about another good popper that doesn't break the bank. That is the Chug Norris by Nomad. This bait comes from the saltwater world, so it looks like a little, it is a little shrunk down version of some of those big poppers you'd see, the big tuna, the bluefin and stuff eating. But this guy right here, these other poppers are more subtle poppers. This guy right here, you can get real aggressive with it. Chug, chug, and you're pushing that water, you're pulling that water, and when there's a shad spawn going on or these fish are up shallow, aggressive, that is an awesome, awesome popper.
Next category, is crankbaits. And you'll have to excuse us, we both just mic'd up because we've suddenly got yard work going on over here behind us. Somebody's mowing, but it's all good. So starting with crankbaits, let's start with the shallow crank first. This is the Bill Lewis ATV. The ATV is the true 4x4 of all shallow crankbaits. This is the bait that you can throw over a laid down tree and plow it through the branches. You can bump stumps with it. You can come through just about anything. It is incredible what that bait is capable of. Next up, we've got the Spro Little John. The Spro Little John shines when the water temps are down cold, right? It's a flat-sided bait when those first fish are pushing shallow in spring and those last fish are still shallow in fall. That's Little John time. And then we've got the Rapala Rocco. The Rocco is a true balsa bait, unbelievably fast startup. So as soon as you start to retrieve that bait, that thing is going hard. That allows us to fish it stop and go really aggressively, and we can trigger fish, get fish to react in and around cover that wouldn't eat another bait. We tried to narrow it down to 2, couldn't do it. Now, the budget offering in this category is going to be that Strike King 1.5. Bare bones, simple, catches them all over the country.
All right, let's talk deep cranks now. We're talking cranks from that 12 to like 18 foot diving depth. First up, the Tactical DD75. This is a crankbait that Matt and I designed several years ago. It's a crankbait that there was a hole in the market. We needed a cold water crankbait that we could speed crank. What we found is it works well, extremely well in warm water too. But from the fall, winter, pre-spawn, this is our crank. We're getting really fast, 7 to 1 to 8 to 1 gear ratio reels. We're burn, 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 pause. We're deflecting, we're changing that reel cadence, and we're getting those fish to react. That guy right there is a must. Next up, from Rapala, the DT series, specifically the DT16. This is a bait for me that shines late summer into fall. This is a more of a neutrally buoyant crankbait, so it's not like a high float. So when you're down there ticking the tops of brush piles or cane piles, you need to get to that certain depth and just stay there. That is a really good crankbait as well. A little bit wider wobble than that tighter wobble from the Tactical crank, but that's a really good crankbait as well. And then last but not least, budget option, the Strike King 6XD. This is a awesome crankbait that works really well in the warmer months. Has a real wide, real aggressive kick, but it doesn't break the bank and it straight catches them.
All right, next one up, rounding out the crankbaits, is the missing lipless crankbait category. So next up, favorite 2 lipless baits. Number 1, from Nomad, look at that guy, he is destroyed. The Swimtrex Max. The Swimtrex Max is a super hard vibrating, fast falling bait that just flat out gets bit. Our favorite size in this bait is the 1/2 ounce, but the 3/4 is a great option as well. But we like it so much because that 1/2 ounce is such a small profile. You can get fish to react when they're not chasing other lipless baits. But it'll shine on a straight retrieve, but the magic is when you're down there bottom hopping. Next up, from Jackal, we have the TN70. The TN series is one of the best lipless baits to ever come to market. Same thing, it's great chucking and winding, it's great fishing down deep, but the magic is when you start bottom hopping. Here, the TN60 is that 1/2 ounce, the TN70 is the 3/4 ounce. Our favorite's the TN70, but the 60 is also great. You can use these 2 sizes, these 2 baits as a 1-2 punch. Different sound, different vibration to keep those fish biting. And then last but not least, that budget option. How do you talk about a budget lipless and not talk about the original rattle trap? Budget or not, how do you not talk about the trap, right? When you've got a category, we call them lipless baits. Most people just call them traps. How do you talk traps and not talk rattle trap? The original trap shines when you're burning, chucking and winding, cover and water, fishing it high over grass, snapping it out of the cover. That's where it shines. You can do everything with it, but cover and water is where that bait is special.
All right, next up in the hard bait category, we're talking about jerkbaits. Now, how do you do a jerkbait subject topic without mentioning the Megabass Vision 110? This is the jerkbait that all other jerkbaits try to emulate. This is the staple. Megabass Vision 110, amazing colors. I don't know how many colors there are in this line, but there are a lot. You could go broke trying to buy all the pretty colors in this guy right here.
I've gone broke trying to buy all the pretty colors.
This is a jerkbait that is balanced extremely well. It fishes really well for me in that fall through early spring with the colder water months, colder weather, when those fish are really kind of slowing down. They'll still react, but they're getting a good eye, a good look at this bait, and that's what sets this bait apart. How it sits in the water and how realistic it looks. That guy right there. Next up, from Shimano, this is the Zoom Verno 95. You see that right there? This is a lot smaller profile than that 110. You can see it's like quite a bit smaller. What this bait has is that flash boost inside. So you can get real aggressive with this bait, and when you kill it, it sits there. It's got that secondary action inside the bait. It's a piece of foil or metal that's sitting there floating, pinned up, and it's just vibrating back and forth like a scale pattern on a fish. That is an awesome, awesome little jerkbait. And then, as promised, a great budget option. You don't typically find budget options with this company, but Duo Realis, the Raz, that's an awesome alternative to a jerkbait. If you want to try jerkbait fishing, try that guy right there.
Yeah, it's like half priced with perfect hardware.
Yeah.
How do you beat that? All right, let's talk spoons. Jigging spoons and flutter spoons. Tim and I love both. Number one, the jigging spoon is going to be the Nichols Duh spoon. Such an amazing jigging spoon. As jigging spoons go, this has the most erratic, natural fall of any jigging spoon. It gives you the benefits of a jigging spoon, that fast fall, that super hard reaction, with some of the characteristics of a flutter spoon where you're getting great action out of it as well. Then we've got that true Nichols Lake Fork flutter spoon. The flutter spoon is incredible. Slower fall than a jigging spoon, all over the place, but those fish just react. If you've not experienced that bite, there's nothing else quite like it. It is an absolute blast. Last but not least, that budget option. We've got the War Eagle jigging spoon. A simpler design, sinks like a rocket. So if you're on fish that are moving quickly, this is a bait that you can throw out, put a little pressure on that spool so it falls straight, and it will sink just as fast as can be. And as soon as it gets over the top of them, stop and pop it and let that thing flutter. It's a fantastic bait at any price.
Next category up in the hard bait, we're talking spin baits. We're talking spy baits. Number one, we got that Spin Bait 80 from Duo Realis. This is that perfectly balanced spy bait. No tinsel on the tail. It sits there with those counter rotating blades front and back and just gives that bait just a little bit of shimmy. So you can cast it out a long ways, you can cast them a mile, and you slowly retrieve this thing back, and it's just that shimmying right there, mimicking a bait fish. That is an awesome presentation when they won't eat, even though it's a hard bait, when they won't eat other finesse baits, a swim bait, a hair jig, that sort of stuff. There are days when I pick up the spy bait and they just eat it.
Yeah.
Next up, the Spin John 80 from Spro. Again, a little bit different. It still has those counter rotating blades on it, but you have a swivel in the front to help with line twist, and you have a little tinsel tail in the back just to add a little bit of flash. But between those two, those are the only two options we're giving you in the spy bait category. Between those two, those guys are money.
Those are it. All right, next up, blade baits. Blade baits are one of those things that used to be such a niche cold water bait, and they've come so far that we throw them year round. They still shine in the coldest water, but with new colors and options and different weighting, you can use them. That season has gotten much longer. First up, the Demiki Vault. The Damiki Vault is the gold standard of blade bait. Phenomenal colors, excellent fall, excellent. As soon as you pick up, you get a great vibration out of it. Just a great, great bait that has proven itself all over the country. Next up from Megabass, we have the Dyna Response. The Dyna Response comes with perfect hardware. You don't need to upgrade anything. It's also got this, it's not feather, but it's got a tinsel tail on it. These two baits work in tandem. This bait vibrates much harder. This bait, because of that tail, is much more subtle. Some days they want that super hard, aggressive vibration. Other days they want that super natural, slower motion. Both are excellent choices and both should be in the boat if it's in your budget. And then last but not least, we've got that budget one in this category, and that is going to be the good old Silver Buddy. Now, in all fairness, not really budget anymore. I was actually a little bit surprised, but you can't talk this category and not throw a little love towards the old Silver Buddy.
All right, next up, we're talking about tailspins. And just like the spy baits, we have two baits for you. Now, these baits, typically I throw them cold water months, fall, winter, into spring. It's kind of a 1-2 punch with the spoon category. We're talking about tailspins. This one, the Jackal Daracoup. Again, having that blade back there. Two different ways to fish it. Throw it out, reel it back. That blade's back there, vibrating, spinning, causing a whole bunch of commotion, and then also feathering it. A lot like you do that blade bait, kind of hopping it on bottom. Throwing it out there, letting it fall through that bait ball. Those fish are active, they will eat it. So that guy right there, that Daracoup, and then also the Damiki Axe Blade. You can see this one actually has a hook connected to the blade. Sometimes they're eating this thing really, really weird and they're just hitting the blade. They're hitting the vibration, they're hitting the flash. Having that little stinger hook on there can mean the difference of hooking that fish and not. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch, a lot like the blade baits. That Damiki Axe Blade, having that willow blade back there, really mimics that small shad, those small bait fish really well. But again, chuck and wind it, hop it, burn it through that school, kill it, let it fall. These work really well when the fish are active, and they work extremely well when the fish are really lethargic down close to bottom.
All right, with that, we wrap up the hard bait category. Again, we said this in the beginning, this coincides with the Tackle Warehouse sale. Of course, today of all days, there is a sale, but all of those hard baits are included in that sale. So we just wanted to give you some of our key confidence baits from each category. These buyer's guides are going to continue rolling for a couple more days before we wrap it up. Hopefully you've been enjoying the entire series along the way. We'll link a bunch of those previous videos in the description along with all of these baits and our favorite colors. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you guys.